Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Bill Cope. Pleased to see you coming to this last session, small number of people. The conference is by no means over yet. The thing about a virtual conference, although we have these synchronous sessions over a couple of days, the actual possibility for you to view and comment on sessions, it's open. So a small thing I recommend to everybody, which is don't go to a session without commenting. One of the advantages of online is that everybody can speak, so please do that. Even though after some time, I'm not sure exactly how long, but a week or something, the comments will be turned off. The videos will be there for you to view at any time, including the plenaries. So even when there were synchronous sessions, those plenaries were recorded and they'll be there in the platform, and please go and comment on those. So what I propose we do in this session is go around the room with each of you and just talk about what were your main takeaways for the conference. You might also mention, if you presented, what it is you presented about, and in which case, put a link into the chat so we can go and talk further beyond that point. So I'm just going to go around the room and get people to comment. So I'll just go around, I'll follow my tiles around, and if you can't speak for some reason, you're in a noisy place where you can't have your audio on, or your audio is not working, just say so in the chat. There'll be no problems at all. So the first person amongst my Zoom tiles here is Fatimah. How are you, Fatimah? So if you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what the main takeaways from the conference are, and perhaps what you presented about.
Hi, thank you very much, William. I'm Fatimah Sharna from Bangladesh. Currently, I'm working as the judge in the Land Cyber Tribunal of Bangladesh. In this conference, I'm presenting a paper on the equitable green justice, the case of Bangladesh in Bhutan and Kenya. In fact, I just wanted to, sorry?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, my paper, I just wanted to show that what Bangladesh and Kenya and like some developing countries, what they are doing, and especially I stress on the women, telling about gender equity, not equality. I feel like that equality is a better fit for women, because we don't want equality as a man has, because it won't give the proper justice, the green justice. In my perspective, I don't that much agree with this. So I just wanted to show that in Bangladesh, Kenya, and Bhutan, what they are doing, especially in this field. And my field is law and justice. So this conference is a little bit out of my track, but hence I have learned so many things about the green finance, what the other sectors. Today, just 1 hour ago, I have just learned that what is going on with the corporate bodies, what they are doing, how we can make them work for the green environment. So yeah, I have learned a lot, and I hope I will learn. I couldn't watch all this presentation, but maybe by next 7 days, I will just learn something, what's going on around the world. So it's a great opportunity for me, and I have been selected as one of the emerging scholars. So yeah, it's really a nice experience for me that I can share my thoughts and I can learn that what other people like me, other people they are thinking for this, because all of our motto is just so that we can leave this world for our children a green and pollution-free world, and from every sector. Like for me, justice sector, industrial sector, what we can do, what we are doing, and what we need to do. Thank you, William. Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad you've managed to get a fair bit out of the conference. What we try to do with these conferences is they're interdisciplinary. So what we really welcome is people who are coming at it from different angles, and the fact that you're coming, it's not an area that you've been centrally involved in, but you're coming in from this particular angle a really great contribution to exactly what we want to achieve. If you did give a presentation, if you could go and find that page and put the link to that page in the chat, and other people might like to have a little have a look at that.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Marion, I can see you're trying to connect to audio. I don't know whether you're the next person in my Zoom tiles. If you've been able to connect. Yeah, maybe you're having trouble connecting to audio. So the next one I have is Amy Quinn. How are you, Amy?
Hi, what's up? I'm good. Sorry, I couldn't turn on my video.
No, that's
and yeah, so I would say I'm a very young adult attending this conference. I'm kind of similar to what Fatimah just said. I now work at a maritime company in the marketing section. And what we focus on is because we want to develop clean and green yachting in the maritime industry, and also try to develop some innovative technology to help with the climate change. And the reason or the main purpose of us attending this is we kind of want to know more insights from the research and scholars, how they think about the climate change, and then to have a deeper understanding on what is going on in the world, not only in Canada. I was really impressed by one of your questions in the last section at Stephanie's presentation, where you asked about the long-term and broad views of the social benefit in the logic of the market to actually, because how I took it is that you think you were wondering if the corporates are voluntarily to do these changes or to take these initiatives, or is it because it is very hard for them, because we are a startup and then we're trying to do things. We want to play a good role in the industry, but in fact, because of the market and the policies and everything, we also we couldn't really do much to help. And then so I kind of want to hear a little bit more from your perspective, how big the influence is from the market is for startups or medium-sized corporations like us. And then I do understand that there are a lot of large corporations that they're trying to they're working so hard to make differences, but I'm pretty sure they have challenges too, because they're so used to their business models and then their supply chains, but now all of a sudden they have to transfer to this period of clean energy, and then they're struggling, and then they had to bear with the instability of everything. And then so that's one point. And then just a side note on the format of the conference, we thought, because we are based in Toronto and the conference is happening in Vancouver, we thought that this year we will be able to actually travel to Vancouver to attend this in person, but it ended up being an online. And then so it was a little bit difficult for us to navigate through the website, but we all had it figured out afterwards. But yeah, it is a very good conference overall, and it's very insightful.
Great.
Yes, and I present, and we're just attending as an audience.
Right. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. No, thanks, Amy. In relation to your question, my argument is that there are these inner logics of the market, and that it may well be the case that the only way to get companies to address these issues will be via public interventions in the broader interest. So, it's unfair in a way to expect a company to have a broader interest which is beyond the logic of its own operation, right? But then it becomes a different game if there are requirements. Now, they were talking about fiduciary responsibilities, which then are legal requirements. So look, it's a legal requirement that companies don't, exploit their workers in cruel ways. And we know that the history of industrial capitalism is, until those laws were in place, companies did exploit their workers in cruel ways, not because they were immoral people, but because it's about maximizing benefit, and profit and all that kind of thing. Just the logic to it. So anyhow, this is the point. And then one hopes that if there is this public pressure, then there's business opportunities that will come, which people will try and do. There'll be a market that follows. It's not as if they're two separate things; they can be related. So that's the idea. That was what motivated me in my question.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was really glad to see that almost all three the plenary sessions, they all talk about the corporate climate change governance, which in the past of climate change studies, I don't think that there are many researchers that actually take the corporate responsibility or how they have to also react to the whole evolution or the change of the period, because like the scholars in the past, they kind of only researched on the science and the impact on climate change, but didn't really take much consideration about the corporate and how they should operate or how they should change the way of behavior. So I'm actually glad to see a lot of scholars studying on this. And then also the embedding project, the Stephanie's organization, that she's like her organization is providing guidelines and then all of these suggestions to companies. So I think that is a really good sign, but it is true that we have a long way to go though. Yeah.
Yes. No, absolutely. All right, I'll go on to, I think, Marion, you might have your audio working now. Just a quick thing, Fatimah, if you could give us the link to the page which has the comments on it, right? That's the actual direct link into the media, your presentation. But if you can give us the one layer up, not just the presentation.
Okay. I'm trying.
Page where people can comment. So yeah. So
Okay.
all right, Marion. I don't know whether you've got your audio working now. Whether you'd like to say, who you are, how you come at this, what you've got out of the conference. Okay, Marion's perhaps having trouble with her audio still. I'll move now on to then Maria. Maria, how? Tell us about yourself.
Hi.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that's great. Hi, everyone. I'm Maria. I'm a PhD student at Europe University studying psychology. But what brings me here is my position as a research trainee at Center for Addiction and Mental Health in Toronto. I'm working on a project that looks into climate change and homelessness mostly. We've been focusing on health implications as well as the implications in terms of migration and exposure for homeless or precariously housed populations due to climate change. And our work has been fairly extensive last year and a half, I would say, in this area. And we've produced a framework for addressing these issues that can be used by policymakers and some practitioners as well. And that's exactly what we were presenting here. The framework that has been developed hasn't been fully published yet. It should be published within a month or two, but the gist of our work is there. Yeah, that's about it, I guess.
It's great. And did you have a presentation? Because again, if you could put the link into the chat, that would be great. The link to the page with the comments. So yeah. Oh well, no, that's and look, what a wonderful thing that we've got people in such different places in the world all able to talk to each other about these issues. And I think it's obvious we all have to agree that these are global issues where the discussion is a universal one that we all have to get involved in. Oh yeah, thank you for both Maria and Fatimah for putting those in. That's great, because that way others might like to join in those conversations. I see. I think it must be Sarah has just joined us. Welcome, Sarah. we have this conversation going on there, just a very informal conversation at the end of the conference about the main takeaways, what you're taking away from the conference, but also what you brought to the conference. If you made a presentation, you might like to say a little bit about who you are and what it is you were talking about. Sarah, would you like to make a comment? Sorry to put you on the spot like this, but you've just come in. Okay, so yeah. Look, I noticed here. Look, this is very encouraging. I just took the 2 links quickly, and I can see that there are 77 engagements on one, 76 on another. So there's been a lot of interaction. So please do go in and make those comments there. The other thing I wanted to mention to you as well, to everybody, I'm just going to go and take the link now to find it. We have the journal, so we really encourage you to write up formal papers, which then go through a peer review process. So in other words, what we have in this community is we have a feedback process where you all work with each other and contribute to each other constructively around the peer review process. So that's very much about building a body of knowledge in this area, and that will go on after this. So we really want you to submit papers. But the other thing we want you to do, and I'm just heading to look for it now, is we have over the years built a quite remarkable resource in this area. So this conference has been running, I don't know, 10 years or something now, maybe more. I'm just trying to think how long it's been running. And we have, accompanying the conference, we have a scholarly journal where we've actually published 405 peer-reviewed articles. So there's an incredible body of knowledge there. I'm just putting that link into the chat. And that's something that you all have access to. So your scholar login and your registration for the conference gives you access to this journal and all the papers. And what we really encourage people to do is please use this resource. When you're researching stuff, when you're writing stuff, there's quite a good search function in there. When you're researching and writing stuff, use this resource. And one of the things about building a community is to cite other people in things that you write, and to build, in scholarly work, it's the explicit recognition that a citation gives you, which is really a reward, if you like, for the work that you do. So it's a very valuable thing. But also, this is just an amazing resource that we've built up over the last. And if you scroll through that, you'll see there's some quite amazing, amazingly interesting pieces of work in there as well. So please use that. Now, does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to make about the issues, climate, about the conference?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Just to know about one thing, like I'm working as a judge, so whenever I just give a verdict on a order, then after that, that is the execution process. The government has a police or jail system, our prison system, our parole system. So either we send our prison convicted people to the jail, or either we set free, or either we just send them on parole. So in climate, environmental law, international environmental law, we are seeing that, like Bangladesh, we are a least contributor, and the biggest contributor. We just can't make them bound, because they say that environmental law is a soft law. It doesn't have that much,
Yes.
Binding force. So, and because in these conferences we have learned that the responsibilities and how we can live kind of this corporate body to do something, because we see just say for example that Coca-Cola is as a brand, they have that much like profit and the capital. There are so many countries, small countries, that don't even have that much GDP. and their contribution to the climate change is more higher than small countries. So we can't just make them bound that you have some, like in UNFCCC, they are doing that. They have some categories of countries that you have this responsibility, and after Paris Protocol, everybody is bound to do something. But what about this corporate group? Why we can just from last presentation, we have learned that, yeah, we can encourage them that you will get, if you do this, you will get this thing. There will be the direct benefit. But what about the small scale industrialist? In Bangladesh, we are one of the most, we just for the ready-made garments, we are one of the biggest exporter of this ready-made garments. And for this, I'm living in Dhaka, around, and just there's some rivers, and for this thing, our rivers are dying because there is no ETP. We can't make them bound. This is for because we are a poor country, so we can't stop this other. Because if we stop this, then all this brand will go, because they will just go to another cheaper country where from there will get their things done. So why we can't do this? Why the people who can think about it, why they are not doing anything? Because as a Bangladeshi, as a country, I can't do, you can't do, but why we are not thinking in this, that why we are not make this corporate body, that what you will get, no, what you also can contribute, what you also can give to others, like small countries or small industry. Why we are not doing anything in this sector?
I mean, that's an excellent question. And, it gets back to this question of, probably companies won't do much until they're required to do it, and until there's a public consciousness that these things are necessities, and therefore, it's a kind of a social requirement, which is bigger than the logic of running a business, but it's, businesses are then required to do it. And obviously, one of the points you're making is that, a lot of these measures are less affordable for developing countries. So, it's one thing for wealthy countries to require it of wealthy companies, but it's another thing for developing countries to require it of small businesses to go to the other extreme. So, yeah, that's one of the dilemmas. So, yeah, that's a very good point. Anybody else have a comment they'd like to make? All right, then we'll look at thank you very much, everybody, for coming along to this session, and it's good to see you all. As I say, keep viewing the sessions and never leave the session without making a comment. So, and we'll see you all the next conference next year, whether it's in person or whether it's virtual. Okay, so bye, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Have a good
Thank you very much for being with us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.